In this video, I'm going to show you the new work permit application and the major changes that the government has made to that form. And oh, by the way, this form is going into effect on August 25th, so you've got to know this information ASAP. Watch this video for more details. One of the priorities of this administration is to limit the number of immigrants who are authorized to work in the U.S. The policies that they're putting in place are very crystal clear with respect to limiting the number of people who are eligible for work authorization. Starting August 25th, there will be a new form that you must use when you're applying for work authorization. That new form has very serious questions in there. Depending on your response, you may be denied for the renewal of your work permit. Now, the current version of the I-765 application has an addition date of December 26, 2019. However, starting August 25th, 2020, you must use the new edition, dated August 25th, 2020. Now, let's get into the new version of the form with some very tricky questions that it now asks individuals to respond to. Notice in the upper right corner of this form, it says that it expires July 31st, 2022. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page on the lower left corner, it tells you that this is the edition August 25th, 2020. That's the current one you're going to need to submit going forward. Now let's get to the very tricky new questions that are on this application. And the first tricky question, friends, is about how you entered the United States. Question 30B asks, did you enter the United States lawfully through a U.S. port of entry, and were you inspected and admitted or paroled after inspection by an immigration officer? If you answer yes, you must provide evidence of your lawful entry. And if you did not enter lawfully, you're gonna have to say no. It's a serious question, friends. Answered no to the question about whether you entered lawfully. Did you present yourself to the Secretary of Homeland Security or his or her delegate within 48 hours of entry or attempted entry and express an intention to seek asylum within the United States or express a fear of persecution or torture in your home country? And then it goes on to ask in question 30D, it says if you answered yes to that previous question, they want you to tell them the date you presented yourself to DHS, the location where you presented yourself to DHS, the country of the claimed persecution, and they want you to write an explanation for why you did not enter the United States lawfully through a U.S. port of entry. And certainly they've given you several lines here to explain that. However, you should understand that that's not going to be enough. If your answers to these questions will trigger the government to deny you of this work permit application, you've got to understand that you need an attorney to explain the circumstances better. And these several lines here will not do it. So those are the major changes here to this form that I think you really need to understand. There is a final rule that the Department of Homeland Security has recently put out there. And in that final rule, it explains a lot of different changes that they're implementing going forward, involving those who are seeking asylum and then the work permit and several other issues. I'm going to put a link in the description below so that you can click on that link and it'll take you to USCIS's website where you can preview the new version of the I-765 so that you'll be able to see some of these questions for yourself. Again, be very careful, guys, not to submit the old version of this form after August 25th, 2020. And I know I've said that several times, and it's because I really want you guys to get this right. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, share it with other people, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.